Hello and welcome to the Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard Briefing for Tuesday, March 5th. And we'll start with a surface weather depiction. You can see during the next 24 hours we have some precipitation that will start over eastern Idaho. Some of it all snow, at least initially, and a rain-snow mix based on elevation in basically the southwest half of our zones. However, it will not get started right away. We are looking for just increasing cloudiness during the day today, and there is a slight chance of some precipitation starting in the evening hours, but the bulk of it will actually be falling tonight, and that would be basically after 11 p.m. So let's take a look at that in more detail. First of all, like I said, no precipitation is expected through 5 p.m. tonight. So really the next thing we have is just what the temperatures will warm to today. We see we're getting into the middle 40s actually for a good portion of the Snake River Plain and eastern Magic Valley. And even places like Stanley will be at 37 degrees. Okay, so after 5 p.m., snow is expected to start. You can see the main focus really is in the central Idaho mountains. But it's not much. The turquoise here is basically 1 to 3 inches or so. You can see that's pretty high elevation, just a few places maybe in Galena Summit area where it actually would reach the road. Most will see the white, which is less than an inch and more than basically a skiff. Here's where it starts to peak, though. Again, after 11 p.m., you can see it starts rising pretty good. We're looking at anywhere from, in this, 3 to 5 inches, more or less. But you can see it is fairly high elevation. Again, once again, in the roadbed, we're looking at around 3 inches during this 6-hour period. And you can see it's starting to increase a lot more now on the eastern side of our forecast area. Basically all the highways going into Wyoming will experience at least 2+ inches of snow. And overnight lows, with the cloud cover staying fairly mild. As you can see, it's going to be rain basically down here in Pocatello and Burley, where the temperature stays above freezing. Elsewhere, it should turn over from rain to snow. And so there will be some light amounts. And again, that snow should have a high moisture content, and it should be fairly wet. Okay, so, on Wednesday, we're looking once again at low elevation rain, high elevation snow. And you can see it's covering pretty much everywhere. You can see some places the snow is expected to get heavy, for instance, in the area of the Grand Tetons, and that will spill over a little bit into Idaho. So we continue into Wednesday. You see it's lighter amounts than what we get overnight, and that's mostly because of the rising snow level. And then for the afternoon, increases a little bit here, sort of re-intensifies, but mostly just at high elevations. And so for the first 24 hours, again, the peak of it being during the late night hours tonight, but continuing at a steady pace through Wednesday afternoon. So here it is, Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday afternoon. You can see that we are looking at somewhere just about right around 8 inches, maybe 8 or 9 inches here in Galena Summit. Otherwise, a lot of areas basically staying at the 2 to 6 inch. Especially in the central Idaho mountains. You can see bearing the brunt of it is the Wood River Valley and going into the Stanley Basin. Meanwhile, down in the Snake River Plain, you can see only 1 to 2 inches at Blackfoot and Pocatello. Idaho Falls, actually less than an inch. Burley, less than an inch, and most of that because a lot of the precipitation is falling as rain. And then in the eastern highlands, you have to get pretty high to get that 6-inch snow threshold, the yellow, but it will affect some of the very high passes going into Jackson Hole area mostly. All right, so Wednesday evening, we're 36 or starting to get beyond the 24-hour point in this event. You can see the snow is letting up here. Almost nothing falling down here in the Snake River Plain. It is mostly limited to the mountains and especially the eastern highlands. You can see the focus. And still getting 2 to 3 inches at some of the real high locations, but most getting between a half an inch and say 2 inches, especially where the road surfaces are. And then for the late night hours on Wednesday night, you see it's decreasing even more, and so most will be getting below an inch. Where once again, where the road surfaces are, right around an inch on the eastern side of our forecast area going into Wyoming. Overnight lows, we still got a lot of cloud covering. See how mild it is. Again, a lot of it in lower elevations will continue to be rain. And then on Thursday and Thursday night here, again, you can see the precipitation continues, but it's definitely at a lower rate. And we are actually starting to cool. Basically, our warmest day and night will be Wednesday night, and then a cool down starts. You can see widespread, an inch or less for almost our entire forecast area, with the exception of U.S. portions of U.S. 20 and in the extreme northeast corner of our forecast area, and even less during the afternoon. As temperatures rise, the snow level will rise, and you can see even less snow widespread below half an inch. So this storm is basically winding down or letting off for a little bit. It's not entirely going away though. You can see almost 50 degrees in the Burley area, so getting really warm down there. But a lot of places starting to cool off, especially in the central Idaho mountains. And so snowfall amount for Wednesday night and Thursday, see, it doesn't amount to a whole lot. Widespread 2 to 4 inches in the highlands and central Idaho mountains. Very few places getting above 6 or even 5, and widespread below an inch in Snake River Plain, or 0 completely. And just to throw this in for Thursday night and Friday, as you can see, it intensifies a little bit here. Temperatures stay cool, and so we're back to 1 to 2 inches in the Snake River Plain. And so for this event, this may warrant some sort of a winter weather advisory. A lot depends on the timing of this. If it's during the day, we would definitely be putting one out. This is more kind of in the evening, so we'll sort of a wait and see. But don't be surprised. But all of this, there's nothing that would indicate any sort of major snow threat during this week. So here's the extended forecast. Friday and Friday night, the snow will definitely continue in the eastern highlands. Otherwise, it'll be just snow likely for the central Idaho mountains. With rain and snow likely for the Snake River Plain and the eastern Magic Valley, and in the south central highlands where the snow level will be quite high. By Friday night, it'll become a chance for the central Idaho mountains and the Snake River Plain as this secondary storm starts to move off to the east. See, temperatures continue mild, although not as mild as they have been. And once the skies start to clear Friday night, you see temperatures start to drop. And this one packs a little bit more wind. Most wind, for the next 3 days will be below 15 miles an hour, which is what you need to lift and drift snow. But not so on Friday night. You can see, especially in the evening, it'll be west at 20 to 30 miles an hour with some higher gusts. And that will continue overnight. We're not looking for a whole lot of snow out of this, though, when it comes to amounts. But the snow that is on the ground, it will start to blow and drift. So there will be some fresh snow, obviously, from the previous days. And that could cause some extreme road conditions. For Saturday through Sunday, so that would include Saturday night, there's just a chance of snow in the eastern highlands on Saturday. Otherwise, it'll be slight chance of snow and low elevation rain. Highs continuing to stay in the mid 20s to mid 30s range in the high elevations. Elsewhere, in the Snake River Plain at the lower elevations, it'll be basically about the same, maybe slightly cooler than what it's been on Friday night. Continued cool at night, and these temperatures are running about 5 to 8 degrees below what we would normally get at this time of year in early March. And Sunday night, Monday, there's just a slight chance of snow in the eastern highlands. Otherwise, very little precipitation. You can see we continue to be cool. And the temperatures, though, with the decrease in cloudiness, will start to warm up. That's all I have. If you have any additional questions, you can always contact us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at this telephone number, or check out the weather yourself at this email or this website address. If you have any comments or feedback for the content of the briefing, email our webmaster at this email address. Thanks for watching.